Hello and welcome to another episode of my Knitting Diaries. My name is Andrea and this is my channel where I talk about mostly knitting, but I do a lot of knitting, crocheting, vlogs. Excuse the wet hair, excuse the just woken up face. It's early in the morning, it's before 8 and I'm going to the office today. I wanted to film it today, but I don't have that much time when I get home, so I figured why don't I give a start at it in the morning. So you might see a little clip somewhere in the middle where all of a sudden I look different. Who knows? I am wearing my cognac cardigan today, and I did finish this one in April already, so I have discussed it in my previous episode. But this is a pattern by Atelier Castin. Marine, and I test knitted this for her. We're currently finishing up the test, but yeah, I have finished it a long time ago, about a month ago already. I have knitted it in Camarose, Yaku, held together with Midnight Soul, and if you're interested in the colorways, they'll be in my Ravelry project page. I might take it off because it's pretty hot actually. But there you have seen it, how I wear it. And maybe it's fun actually to see how long it is. So it's a pretty short cropped cardigan. So, and I like to wear it with the top two buttons buttoned. But I also like to not be too hot. And it's been so hot lately. I did finish some warm things, so let's just get started with that. The first one you will have seen in my previous video, which would be about the Mica Socks. This is a pattern from 52 weeks of socks, and I like to make knitting vlogs out of those. So these are two socks, obviously, that I made for my boyfriend. And he suggested to have one in this, like with this combination, and the other with the reverse. So I think they turned out really pretty. It's a pattern by Kirsten or Catherine Vegar. And it is in the volume 1 of the Knitting for Olive, not Knitting for Olive, the 52 Weeks of Socks book. I used Lindewool, a sock wool with rami in there, and rami is like a nettle that they use instead of nylon to reinforce the yarn to make it wearable as a sock. So it's 100% natural, so that's very nice, and I'm super curious how it will wear up. My boyfriend has worn these for like one evening at the house, and I already see a little bit of wear in it, so might be a little bit of a rough one, but we'll see. Yeah, I started these socks on 3mm needles. The pattern calls for like 3.5 or something, or 3.25, I think. But the yarn is a little thinner. So when I did the 3mm needles and the yarn, then I got a really loose fabric, which I didn't like. Plus it was kind of too big for my boyfriend. So I went down to a 2.5mm needle, and I did the biggest size, but the circumference is still a lot smaller. Like the amount of stitches is not the typical thing you would do with a 2.5, but because the yarn is like thicker than fingering, it did turn out okay. So there's not that many stitches in the circumference. It's 56. I think I'll be able to tell that. I should be able to tell that. But yeah, because the yarn is a little thicker, the socks turn out a little bigger than you would if you use a classic fingering weight yarn. So yeah, they turned out pretty nice. I don't know what else to say about these. I really like this combination where you have the blue and then you really have the like starry night kind of thing. Oh yeah, and one thing that I did is I made sure the jog was on one side. so to be on the inside when you wear it. So I had to switch up for one of them. I had to switch up the heel placement. So basically put the heel placement on the front of the sock compared to what they said that you needed to do in the pattern. Just so the pretty side will be here on the outside here and on the outside here, and the jog will be on the inside. I always like to do that because I don't like that jog in colorwork socks. So those are the Mica Socks. I might make another pair before I leave. I leave for, I'm gonna go to Montana again this year in the US for my boyfriend's wedding. I have a whip for that. Not my boyfriend's wedding, oh my God. My boyfriend's sister's wedding. No, that would be funny if I go to my boyfriend's wedding, but I'm not in it. No, it's my boyfriend's sister's wedding, and it's gonna be in Montana, and I'll be leaving in less than a month. So I'm really trying to wrap up my projects, and I'm doing a bunch of vlogs for different projects right now, and I still have some coming up. So yeah, I don't think another sock pattern before the trip, but that's okay. I had this whole plan of like releasing a video every week, but I don't think it's attainable because I need to do a lot of knitting for those videos because I'm doing all the vlogs. But anyway, that's a little bit behind the scenes maanknitwear channel kind of admin, I don't know. So yeah, I would like to just keep it I don't know, for you guys to just enjoy it and not know too much about the admin. You can if you want to, but I feel like that's a me thing. You're just watching. Okay, then I have another finished object. So yeah, it's going pretty well with the finished objects, honestly. I have finished my Dartmoor sweater, and I have been wearing this a bunch. I was wearing it yesterday. I've been using it just as an outer layer because the weather's been a little off and on here. It was really hot for a while, and then it kind of cooled down again. So right now it's like really nice to wear this sweater out and about. I'll put it on so you can see it on. Yeah, sorry for the wet hair look. Hope you don't mind. I heard it's like really a no-go in some countries to have wet hair and to go outside, and it really looks like unfinished or something, but I always just go outside with wet hair. I don't want to blow dry it because then I'm ruining my hair for no reason, and it will be flat. I always have flat hair if I blow dry it, so I just like to air dry it. But yeah, anyway. This is my Dartmoor sweater. It's nice and cozy and big, and the big detail is here on the shoulder. I did take finished object pictures like I never do, so I was very proud of myself. I got cut off there, sorry. I did take finished object pictures, but here it is in full. So nice and cozy and big. Looks really nice, I think. And a lot of people have said it looks really good with my eyes. So it really brings out the green in my eyes. And I know some people leave comments sometimes that I have pretty green eyes, so thank you for that. My boyfriend still is in denial that I have green eyes. He's like, no, you have brown eyes. I'm like, we've been together for 6 years. People on my YouTube videos say that I have green eyes. They know me better than you. I'm joking. But anyway, yeah. So this is the pretty back detail of the Dartmoor sweater. And other than that, it's pretty straightforward. There were just, the only thing that was like a little harder were the short rows on the back. So you pick up stitches from this edge and then you start doing short rows. The short rows blocked out really nicely. I did have some like weird stitches when I just finished the short rows, and I didn't really like the look of those. So yeah, they blocked out really nicely. And now I have a beautiful Dartmoor sweater. And the only thing that I did differently was I did all the ribbing in 2x2 instead of 1x1. And when I finished the body, I was like unsure if I liked it, but now that I finished the cuffs of the sleeves as well, I really like it. And I did a quicker decrease rate for the arms, and I don't remember how I exactly decided on how long I did them. I don't know why not, because I finished this like a week ago, so I don't know why, I can't remember. But the arm length is perfect. So I'm really happy with it. It hits like right here, and I know I talked about this before, and I have this feeling that sometimes my sleeves are a little too short. I have really short arms, I would say, but then I knit my sleeves to a certain point, like here, for example, and then I start wearing my garments, and then the sleeve ends up here. So I really like that I can pull these down and have them here, and then when I'm working, they're here. So, you know, because they scrunch up in the arm. So this is really a perfect arm length, and I should remember that for my next project. Also for my Kanya cardigan, I'm pointing at it, it's thing right there. I also did a longer sleeve, so that worked really perfectly too, I think. So I'm really in a like longer sleeve knitting era right now, and I enjoy it. So it's really good to finally have sleeve lengths that are a good size. So that's very nice. And yeah, it's just really nice and boxy and big. I made the size extra large, which is recommended for my bust circumference. My bust circumference is about 115, depending on, I don't know, hormones, I guess, or something. And yeah, this is, I think it's like 130 something bust circumference. So it's really nice and boxy. It's so cozy. I love wearing it. I feel great in it. So yeah. The funny thing is that I have done so much knitting, but I've never just made a sweater, like just a regular stockinette sweater. And although this has some like a little detail, you know, and some short rows, so it's not just like a basic beginner pattern, I would say. I still haven't made just a sweater. Like this is just a sweater. And it's very, very nice to finally have made one, and then to realize like, yeah, that's how you make staples for your closet. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. The yarn, before I forget, is from JC Rennie, where they have huge cones. Like I bought a cone of 850 grams, I think. And I made this whole sweater out of it using 3 strands held together. I did go down a needle size, so I went from the 5.5 from the pattern to a 5, and I held 3 strands together of somewhere between the fingering and a light fingering. I would say, yeah, somewhere between that. It blooms really beautifully after washing it. It does like dull out the color a little bit more, because before washing it still had the spinning oils in it, which left huge marks on my hand when I was knitting on it. So I'm really happy that it's done, because I was kind of done with like washing my hands very thoroughly every time after knitting. But yeah, the spinning oils did add a beautiful like shine to the yarn, so the color was even prettier before washing. But the fabric is a lot more enjoyable after washing. I feel like every time I will wash this, it will get nicer and nicer. Actually, the body has been blocked one time more than the sleeves, and I can really tell. I don't know if you can tell, but here you can see the stitches a little better than here, and that's because this is kind of like blooming all together a little more, because it's been washed one more time. So it will even out eventually. And yeah, it just means that it's going to be a really nice sweater I can use forever, basically. And one more thing, I thought oh, this sweater is so nice and oversized. I'll let my boyfriend try it on and my brother try it on. But then it looked totally weird on them. So I just wanted to mention that. The back was like really high on them. So way too short, basically, the back. And then the front was like, just like scooping down. So yeah, I don't know, if you ever think of making this one for a man, just like take that into account and maybe do some extra short rows, because men just have more back that it needs to go over. And I guess I just have more like boobs on the front that keeps the fabric like up at the front. So yeah, I always think that's really interesting, the like whole thing about short rows and like body shape versus sweater and everything. But I thought, I have an oversized sweater here, try it on. And then it was like too short and too, everything looked weird. So I was like, oh, why does it fit so nicely on me? Okay, I'll leave it on for now. This is actually more comfortable than my Kanye cardigan because it's 100% wool, and that has the Camerose Midnassol in it, which is like a mohair alternative. So it actually is hotter than this. Yeah. Then I have a crochet whip that I can show you. I was already talking to you about the wedding, and I am making my boyfriend a crocheted blouse. So, or like shirt, I guess. So if I show you this, you're like, what is that? But I am making a crocheted button-up shirt. And if I fold it, then you can maybe tell a little better what it is, because this is one of the sides. So this will be like, here's the armpit and I'm working my way up. This is the Relaxagon Shirt by Caroline Tuschlach. It's a German last name. I'm not very good at German, even though I'm Dutch. I'm sorry. But yeah, it is a pattern by her, and it's it was very, very popular. There was this one creator, Amazing-ish Grace, who made this crocheted granny square. It's like granny stitches. She made it for a friend, and that video was like very much watched. So I feel like that made the pattern really popular. And I found out about the pattern that way. So yeah, I'm making a vlog about this one too. Like crocheting my boyfriend's wedding outfit or something. So if you want to watch the whole process, you can watch that one. Yeah, but I think I will finish it on time. It is a lot of work. And even though crochet goes faster than knitting, it still is a lot, you know. You have to do a lot of little stitches, and every round you get a lot more stitches, so every round gets slower and slower. And I have to make 2 of these panels, and I stitch them together, make a collar. I am using Drops Saffron in this beautiful color. I really like this color. It looks a little more cream on there, but it's actually like almond sand, I would say. Like it's a little more grayish in real life. It's really nice color. There it is. I wanted to get Hobby, the 8/4 or the 8/4 cotton from Friends, or they have a few different ones. And I feel so stupid because like, what was it, like a month ago, they had a huge sale and they were all on sale for like €1 each, which is super cheap. And I didn't get it, but I already knew that I was gonna make this, but I was like, it's always €1. It's not. So I didn't buy it, and then Hobby, they were out of stock. So then I was like, oh, they didn't have any neutrals, no neutrals whatsoever. And I did want to have a neutral and like a pop of color. And they had a pop of color that I really liked, this bright orange red, like a spicy orange. And I thought that would look really good. But then I couldn't get the neutral there, so I had to look for alternatives. So then I went to Drops Saffron or whatever. And then I bought this color, and this is the marzipan color. I didn't say that, but it's the marzipan color. It's color 71. So I bought that, and then for the contrast color, I did this one, which shows up a little more hot pinkish on screen than it is in real life. It's a little more dull in real life, which I think is a little bit of a shame. But is the color magenta, color 75, and I think it would be really cool. He chose the pink. He likes pink, so yeah. I said it's probably fun to have like a really pop of color. And when it came, I was like, oh, it's a little more dull than I wanted it to be. And I had some other colors in like just some one-off skeins, or yeah, just some drops saffron lying around the house. So I asked him if he wanted that one, and he preferred this. So we're doing the pink, and it will look really cool. He's going to be performing. He plays the guitar, so he's going to be performing at the wedding. So he has his performer outfit. So yeah. See how my hair is drying in real time? See, that's why I don't want to blow dry it. I like it when it's just like this. So that was my crochet whip. Then I have a few more things. I have been knitting on another test knit that I have been doing, and it is the Thursday top by Typical Bliss. And yeah, it is this top that has buttons on the front. I'm doing the 2XL. Which would give me a little bit of positive ease. It's actually designed to have negative ease, but when there's buttons on the front, I don't like it when there's holes, so I wanted to have a bit of a more oversized top for this one. So I applied and I got accepted, so that was really fun. But then there were some problems with the armhole depth for the larger sizes, including the 2XL. So we had to wait for a long time, and then I took the liberty, and I told her, but I took the liberty to combine the increases a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to give away too much of the pattern, but the increases together made a big, very big armhole. And then I took the liberty to combine the increases a little bit to make the armhole a little more shallow. So I did that, and now I'm just knitting on the body. And that is a bit of a drag. So there are the armholes, and it is just back and forth, and it is so tiny. Even though I'm using 3.75 millimeter needles, it's still moving very slow because I am using a fingering weight yarn. I am using Knitting for Olive pure silk in the colorway Poppy Blue, which I think is a really, really nice color. And if you think I am a winter season color-wise, then this should be looking good on me. But maybe I'm a fall, who knows? Let me know what you think if you know about the color analysis, because I would love to know. I don't know. I never like high contrast, because my eyebrows, my hair, my face, my lips should make me a winter. But then I also have a little bit of like a olive undertone, which maybe would make me a fall, I think. But anyway, who cares? Just wear the colors that make you happy. So yeah, it is yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's a top. It's gonna be a little bit see-through, but that's okay. It's gonna be nice and cozy. Not cozy, breezy. Nice and breezy. I really like the construction. There were some short rows in the back. I need to find some buttons for this one. But yeah, it's just a lot of back and forth knitting right now, and then do a little edge at the bottom, and then do the I-cord finishing around the neckline, and that's it. And I should get a move on this one. Yeah, I am currently on my second ball with this much left, and then I have a third one right here. So I definitely do have enough yarn, so that's very nice. So yeah, that's everything about the Thursday top. Then I have one more thing I want to show you that I just casted on recently, and that is a sock. I am making a DK sock toe up for a friend of mine. She's going to be at my house on her birthday. She doesn't live in the Netherlands, she lives in London, but she's going to be here, and she asked if she could stay, and that happens to be on her birthday. So then I thought that would be a nice reason to make her a gift if she's with me anyway. So yeah, I decided to make some cobalt blue socks using my leftovers of my stripe hype pullover that I made in December. And this is a sock yarn. This is Lang wool. And yeah, it's just a toe up sock. I'm roughly following the bear paw socks because I'm going to be doing a Fleegle heel. So yeah, I am using the like one of the sizes as a reference, but I'm basically just freehanding it, and I'm not doing the ribbing, not doing the stripes. So yeah, I'm just using the Fleegle heel recipe from that one. Yeah, so those are my DK socks that I'm making. There's not that much to say about them. I watched, I went to the movies yesterday with my mom, and I did like from the toe to here, just chill. I try to keep an eye on my tension, because I have said before that if I take socks to the movies, then my gauge gets really loose. So I try to keep attention that that my gauge was still okay. That I was still keeping it a little more tight. So yeah, those are the socks. I'm knitting on, and then I'm 3.25 millimeter needles, and I'm doing the 44 stitches circumference, so that should be okay. Her feet are narrower and longer than mine, but it's funny because I think that about all of my friends. They have narrower and longer feet than me, but maybe it's not true. I don't know. Yeah. And then there was one final thing, and that is something that I haven't been working on for a whole month now. And that is my Lonely Leftovers vest. It's been a really lonely vest. Yeah, I have been making this one for the acrylic stash down series. So I'm using all acrylic yarn to make this. Held together with a unraveled sweater, which is like a acrylic wool blend. So yeah, it is turning out really nicely, but I just haven't been working on it at all. Yeah, I just was working on the other projects instead. And this is the bag that I won from Brooke Willis giveaway, and I put a little pin on it that I got for my advent of Artemis yarns. By the way, I ordered this was a while ago now, but I did order the Artemis Yarns advent calendar again. I decided to just go for one because I haven't used the second advent calendar yet from last year. And I did use the weekend advent calendar from Artemis Yarns last year to make my stripe hype pullover. So yeah, I really enjoyed the weekend version of a advent. So advent is when you get all the yarns in December, and you get one mini skein per day, or you get a weekend skein every weekend. And I opted for the weekend one from Artemis Yarns. And I'm really excited. I have to think of what I would want to make, but it's a long ways from now, but I did order the yarn for it, so that's really cool. So I think that is everything. Also, that is great because then I finished everything filming before going to work. I'm gonna have some breakfast quick, and then I head out to go to the office. And yeah, I wanted to give you a little shorter one this time. I have been really enjoying doing the vlogs, so yeah, I think my channel will go into that direction a little more, but I'll do a monthly check-in and show you everything. I noticed that I didn't really enjoy doing a check-in every week. I like to just sit down once a month. That's what I decided. But it can always change. You'll just see whatever goes on my channel whenever I post it. So I hope you don't mind. But I think I'll be going into a little bit more like a full-on like DIY vlog sometimes, because I do want to make myself, I want to sew myself a dress for the wedding. And I think I'm going to document that process too. I do sew as well as knit and crochet. So maybe I'll go into that a little bit more as well on this channel. So you might see some of that. I hope you enjoy it. And if you don't, then you can just hang out for the knitting ones or the crocheting ones. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing if you like this video, and give it a like and all the hustle and bustle. Whatever. And if you want to watch more of me, here is a video that the YouTube algorithm thinks that you would like. So you can click on that one next to watch more of me. So see you next time. Bye.